Hello, and welcome to the Podcasts and Pedometers PD session. I want to give you a quick overview of how the session works. A couple of notes. This is all self-paced, but I am available for questions and support by email or phone. And this is not a session about how to create podcasts in your classroom. If you would like to learn about creating a podcast, then you might consider making that your focus for a Genius Hour PD session. The goal of the session is to provide teachers with the time to explore and learn about a topic of interest related to education by listening to a podcast. You are encouraged to get up and get some steps in while you listen and learn. Your final product will be your learning reflection, which is a slide deck that shares your learning with your colleagues. So here are the sections of the podcast PD. Step 1, explore what type of podcast interests you. So if you don't already have a podcast in mind, there are some popular ones that are linked here. There's also a link to the Education Podcast Network, which has a whole list of more podcasts based on education. Step 2, you're going to choose your podcast episode and listen. So you want to make sure that you choose an episode that interests you, but also something that will benefit your students, staff, or the school as a whole. So again, there are some episodes listed here on this choice board for you to take a look at, but you are not required to choose any of these specific podcasts. Down on step 3, reflect on your learning. You're going to complete a learning reflection to share with your colleagues. And there's a video that will walk you through that a little more specifically, but keep that in mind as you're listening to the podcast, because you will have to share 5 key takeaways from the podcast episode you listen to. So if that means you jot them down, or you keep some Post-it notes, or maybe you take some screenshots so you can go back to that particular time in the podcast, that might be helpful. So again, it will be 5 key takeaways from your podcast episode. There are some examples and templates. At the end, you're going to submit your reflection in this Google form, and there will be a video to walk you through how to make sure you share your slide deck properly. Okay, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. I'm at roxanne.thompson@wesdschools.org. Thank you.